Hello and welcome back. This is 11.6. 11.6 is really sweet, short, and to the point because it all revolves around spheres. And spheres are nothing more than three-dimensional circles. And what is the one dimension we need in a sphere or a circle? The most important dimension of a circle is the radius. Now, sometimes they're going to give you the denominator, but you're going to want to draw a circle and put in the radius. Because once you have the radius, you can do all the rest of the work, forwards and or backwards. Okay, so we'll start with the surface area formula. The surface area for a sphere is 4 pi r squared. Pretty easy, straightforward. 4 pi r squared. Find that radius. A lot of times they give you the diameter, and then just plug in the numbers. So I always want to see this formula first and then go through the rest. It's important to understand that there's a difference between surface area and volume. Now, volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Now, why is that important? Because volume is always in units that are cubed. Notice, they look similar, they are different. This is r squared because it's area. This is r cubed because it's volume. And then you're going to use these formulas to work forwards and backwards. Sometimes they'll give you the radius. Sometimes they're going to give you the volume and they want the radius. You have to work backwards, which means you'd multiply by 3, divide by 4, divide by pi, then cube root. And that's why you need your scientific calculator. You need the special calculators because they do your cubing and cube rooting. Okay? And I will show you how to cube root on your calculator. Cube rooting involves this function. So I'll show you how to use your calculator here so you know how to raise something to the third power. So if I want to raise, we'll look at a sample problem. Let's say they give me a diameter of 14. So I draw my picture and I put in a radius of what? Correct, 7. So now I'm going to do the two formulas. So I would write 4 pi r squared and 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay. Now I'm going to put in the number. So this would be 4 pi 7 squared, and this would be 4/3 pi r 7 cubed. And now I'll show you how to do that on the calculator. Okay. So I go 4 pi 7 and the squared key. Hit equal, and it gives me 196 pi. Okay. If I need it rounded to a decimal, I hit the arrow key, and it'd be 615.8. Or they may ask to the whole number, or they may ask to the hundredths and not the tenths. That's where you have to pay attention to where they want you to round. Okay. Now let's look at the volume problem. That one gets typed in like this. There's my fraction, 4, arrow key, thirds, move over. There's 4/3, pi, r, 7. And now to raise it to the third power, I have to hit this little arrow icon, and it moves it up, and then I hit 3. Then it does all the rest for me, which would be 1372 over 3 pi. And then again, if I want the decimal, I hit the arrow key, and it gives it there. So that's cubing. Now I'm going to show you how to cube root. Cube rooting is using the same key, except you have the second function, and it's going to tell you what you want. So I hit 3, then second function, and it makes it cube root. If I wanted a 4th root, I'd hit 4, second function, and now it's a 4th root. That's the opposite of when I raised it to a power. I hit the power key, then the number. When I'm rooting it, I hit the root, then the key. Okay, because they're backwards. The reverse of each other. So let's look at this. Let's say I needed the cube root of 1,372. And there it goes, 11. Okay. Now, if I really wanted that number, it would be let's do 7 cubed. And now we're going to cube root it. So I'm going to go 3 cube root 343, and it's 7. Okay, so you can practice that on your own, so you're able to move forwards and backwards, how to square, square root, cube, and cube root. All right, and then for the most part, it's just making sure you want to use radius and not diameter. So you got to pay attention to the words in the problem. But other than that, this is a relatively simple section, and it takes very little time. I wish you luck. And we got one section left. Good job.